Hello, welcome to Monday. So here we're using fraction strips where if this was one whole, we can see that two 1/2 pieces would make a whole and two 1/4 pieces make up a 1/2 piece. So we were asked if we did take a 1/2 piece and a 1/4 piece, then how much of a fraction would we have? And the trick on these is actually to look at the denominator here. If you have if you do have your fraction strips in front of you, you can line them up, and turn a 1/2 piece into two 1/4 pieces, and you're going to find that you actually end up with three 1/4 pieces. Another way to do it is to think about the multiples of 2 and 4. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and then the multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. And then we look at this and we see that they do have a common multiple. Now, of course, this is looking at 1 times, if we made another column here, and if this is our, again, 2's columns and 4's column, 1 times 2 makes 2, 1 times 4 makes 4. So it's a bit of a multiplication table here. So really, we need to get this 2 to turn into a 4. That's the common denominator that we're going to want to find in this. So how do I get from 2 to 4? So really this is going to turn into 2 over 2, do that darker color, 2 over 2 times 1/2, and then we'll put this plus 1/4 over here to the side a little bit. So what we end up getting is 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So we get 2 over 4 plus 1 over 4. Then when we add, when we have common denominators, we simply add their tops. So 2 plus 1 makes 3. So we have 3 over 4. That first option was the correct one. Okay, now we think, what is the lowest multiple that the numbers 2 and 3 have in common? So we could do the same type of thing where we do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. So it looks like the lowest multiple is 12. So at the end of the day, what we're going to have is we're going to have a fraction over 12. But that's not the first occurrence that happens, right? So there are 6 as well. So which one should we use? Now, either one would ultimately get you to the right answer, but this is what I wanted to show, just a scenario where if you keep going, there's many factors that they have in common, but we're actually going to look for the lowest common one that they have, which is 6. So let's get that out of the way. How would I go from 2 to 6 using multiplication? I multiply 2 by 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do it to the top. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. How do I go from 3 to 6? I multiply by 2. Okay, so 1 times 2, 2. 3 times 2 is 6. We now have a common denominator, so we're going to add those two numerators together. 5 over 6. Okay, now if we saw a pattern in this last one, didn't we just simply, so the denominator over here was 2, and we multiplied it by 3 over 3. The denominator here was 3, and we multiplied it by 2 over 2. So that's another pattern that you can use, is when you're adding fractions, this will always work. So I'm going to multiply this fraction over here by 3 over 3. And this fraction here by 4 over 4. So what does that give us? So we get 3 times 1 is 3 over 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 times 4 is 4, and 3 times 4 is 12. So add those together, we get 7 over 12. 7 over 12 is our answer. So let's try that one more time. Now, we could do this again and multiply both sides by the friend fraction over here. So we could multiply this by 2 over 2 and this side by 6 over 6. But we actually only need to change one of these fractions, right? Because isn't 6 a common multiple of 2's? How would I get from 2 to 6 using multiplication? I'd multiply it by 3. Top and bottom, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 over 6. So notice you do have common denominators here now, so 3 and 4, 3 and 1 makes 4 over 6. So of course, in the future we're going to learn how to reduce fractions, but for now, we would say 4 over 6 would be the best answer. All right, have a great day.